Tara, and today we're going to be talking about my favorite nighttime summer fragrances. So these are ones that I would recommend if you're going out on a date in the summertime. Maybe you're just going to go out with friends and have drinks outside at a bar or somewhere like that. Maybe you're on a beach and you're just enjoying yourself by a campfire. Whatever it might be that you're doing, if it's the summertime and it's still warm in the evening, I think these would be great fragrances for you to wear. All right, in my number 5 spot is one that if you live in the US, I am really sorry, this is going to be incredibly difficult to find. However, I've heard that in Europe you can still find this pretty easily and in some cases on discount. So for those of you who live in Europe or maybe elsewhere in the world, this could be a good recommendation for you. This one is Guerlain's Terracotta Le Parfum. And if you've ever smelled the terracotta bronzers from Guerlain, this smells somewhat similar. Now, I will say, I know there's a note of tiare flower in here, but I am not fantastic at picking that out. When I smell this in the opening, I get a lot of jasmine, which is why it's a little bit lower. It's in the number 5 position because jasmine is not my favorite. However, in some fragrances, I do enjoy it and I find it, at least tolerable. And other fragrances, jasmine can pull really kind of icky on me and almost smells like bad breath, to be quite honest. So it just depends on your skin chemistry, but this is not a jasmine that does anything gross on me, but it does open with jasmine, which is not my favorite note. However, after about 5-10 minutes and it really kind of starts to dry down, this becomes a beautiful sort of coconutty, floral, and vanilla based fragrance. I mostly get though the coconut and the florals in the dry down, and it's like this really warm sort of sexy fragrance that I think is good for nighttime in the summer. Again, like I said, it's hard to find in the US right now, but elsewhere in the world I think you can still find this. It was a limited edition from Guerlain, but it was around for quite a while. So anyway, that's my number 5 pick. I think it's a really beautiful coconutty, warm, sensual type of fragrance. All right, next in my number 4 position is from the niche house Micallef. Have you heard of them before? If not, I encourage you to try to sample some of their fragrances because they have some really, really nice offerings. This one here in this beautiful bottle is called Ylang in Gold. And you can see it's sort of opaque because there's like this pearlized sort of, I'm assuming it's a powder type of thing in here. When you spray it, it maybe shows up the tiniest bit on your skin, which in the summertime in the evening would be fine for a little shimmer, but it's honestly very minimal. I don't really notice it when I spray it. This fragrance, I predominantly get vanilla, and of course, because it's called Ylang in Gold, I get Ylang Ylang. So those are the main 2 notes that I get in here. However, it is a tropically sort of vanilla fragrance. So in addition to the florals and the vanilla, I pick up coconut and some other types of fruits, but I don't know what it is. But I definitely get coconut in here as well. So again, this is a really great fragrance for summer evenings. I think a lot of people really enjoy this fragrance. And if you like vanilla, coconut, and Ylang Ylang, I don't think you can go wrong with this one. So that's from Micallef, and it's called Ylang in Gold. In my number 3 position is one from Mugler, and again, I really like that house. This is Alien Eau Sublime, and if you like the original Alien, you will like this because it smells like the original Alien, but with some added citrus. If you haven't smelled the original Alien, it's going to be kind of difficult for me to describe this because Alien is quite unique. It has jasmine in it, but I already talked about how I don't usually like jasmine. The jasmine in Alien does not smell like jasmine. It's like its own unique sort of thing. And then also some amber, vanilla. It's just a really unique fragrance, but this smells like Alien if you've ever smelled that, but it has additional like citrus notes. So it makes it a little bit lighter. It does not last as long as Alien. Alien's kind of one of those beast mode fragrances. This lasts about 4 hours or so on my skin, but for summer evenings, that's probably about all you need. So that one is definitely a favorite. Oh, and I forgot to mention the last 2, I would say also last about 4 hours on my skin. So I honestly, there's only one on here that has like really great longevity and it's the number 1 position. But the rest, like I said, for summer evenings when you're just going out on a date or something like that, if you can get 4 hours out of it, that's usually enough. All right, in my number 2 position is a fragrance that comes in one of the most beautiful bottles that I've ever seen. This one is from Viktoria Minya, and it's called Hedonist. And I just want you to look, there's like these little sort of like crystals in there that are really, really pretty. So very unique packaging, but the fragrance itself is quite beautiful. So to me, this smells like peach with honey and a little bit of tobacco. I do think that it has some sort of like a rum note in it, but, and I honestly don't know that honey is a note in it. I can't remember, but that's kind of what I pick up. It's like a sweet peach with a little bit of like a tobacco-y sort of thing to give it some depth and just make it kind of sexy and interesting. This one is a great fragrance for summer evenings. I think this is really unique. It's really beautiful. If you like peach and you like sweet fragrances, again, not super sweet because there are some other notes in there that kind of you know, sort of bring it back down. But if you do like sweet fragrances and you like peach, I think you should definitely get a sample of this. This one is expensive and I have never seen this discounted. So you definitely want to sample this. Do not blind buy. It's too expensive to blind buy. But I think you should sample it if those notes sound interesting to you, because I think it is truly a gem of a fragrance. And like I said, you probably wouldn't hate displaying this in your room either. Although keep it out of the sun, don't do that, okay? You don't want to ruin it. All right, and in my number one position is a fragrance that I've seen talked about a lot more recently than I used to, even though it's been out for a little while. This is from Amouage, and it is called Sunshine. And this fragrance is really complicated, but in the best way possible. And that it makes it so that as you're wearing it, it changes and you pick up different notes. And this one is the one I mentioned has fantastic longevity. I honestly think you can wear this year round, but the reason why I decided to put it in this video is because if I were going to wear it in the summertime, which I do, I would wear it in the evening just because it does have some pretty good projection and longevity. And it also has white tobacco in here, and so that makes it, to me, lean a little bit more nighttime. Although I think a lot of people would say this is a daytime fragrance. In the rest of the year, I agree. In the summer, though, when it's really hot, I prefer this in the evening. So what do I mostly get from this besides that white tobacco? Well, right away, the main thing that I pick up is it's like an apricot smell, but I believe it's from the note of osmanthus, yeah. And that's actually a floral note, but it smells a little bit apricot-y. Also almond sort of notes, not in like an overly sweet marzipan-y kind of way. And then I get some other sort of fruits, like maybe a black currant or something, not like a really sweet fruit, but there are some other kinds of fruits in there, and definitely there's a little bit of vanilla. However, I would say the main three notes that I truly kind of get from this, alternating, even though it changes, like the three that kind of keep popping back up, are that apricot-y note from the osmanthus, the almond, and the white tobacco. So a really, really unique fragrance. Again, at the price that it is sold at, do not blind buy this, you should sample it. But this definitely is a really high quality fragrance. It has a lot of depth to it. It's very unique. I have nothing else in my collection that smells anything like this whatsoever. And the performance is fantastic. Like I said, pretty solid projection, especially for the first several hours. You know, later on it does become more of a skin scent, but it lasts all day, like all day. And I know that if you spray this on your clothes, it will last into the next day. So great performance here, a really high quality fragrance, and one that if you have the budget for it, I think you should try to sample. So again, that's Amouage Sunshine, and it's my number one pick for summer nights. So those are my top 5 summer evening fragrances, but I would love to hear what some of your fragrances are for those, you know, really warm or even hot summer nights. Like I said in my last video, if you watched that one with my daytime summer fragrances, I really don't have a huge collection of fragrances that are appropriate for the summer, or I mean, you can wear whatever you want, whenever you want, to be quite honest, but you know, aren't typical summer scents. So there's definitely a lot that I have not been exposed to. So definitely please share your favorites down below in the comments, and I would love to see what you guys have to say. Also, let me know if you've tried any of these, what you think about those as well. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if not, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. But if you haven't already, please consider subscribing if you like these fragrance videos. Don't forget to click that notification bell, and hopefully I will see you guys next time.